Hello everyone and welcome to my sort of April TBR. Before I get started, there are a couple of things I want to mention. First of all, I'm sorry if my voice is a bit weird. I've had a head cold for the last week and a half and I'm still trying to get over it. Yeah, and I don't know if I still sound weird or not. Secondly, if you hear any weird banging noises in the background, I apologise. We have builders building a deck outside and they're very noisy. And they're very noisy at 8 AM when they wake me up. So, not a happy alley at 8 in the morning. Anyway, last month I read 21 books and I'm hoping to read about the same this month. I've already read 4 and if I finished any of the ones that I'd started I would have read way more than that by now. But yeah. I want to read lots of books this month because next month, in fact the first 3 days of next month, I'm going to a book festival in this town called Clunes with my friends Miranda and Michelle, who I'll link below. I'm going to buy a lot of books there. I went last year and I bought 17 books and I have a book haul of those, so you can, I'll link that below if you're interested in seeing the ones I bought last year, and then I'll obviously do a haul when I get back from that. And Miranda will be vlogging it, so if you're interested in that, just, yeah, watch her channel. Anyway, let's look at some of the books. I have a couple of different categories. I've got library books, uni books, ARCs, books I just need to finish, books I bought last year at Clunes that I haven't read and need, or I want to try and read before this year. So I'll start with a couple that I have actually started. So the first one I started, I think this is the first one I started this month, is Heart of the Dreaming by Di Morrissey. Di Morrissey was one of my mum's favourite authors, and my mum passed away last year and she left me all of her books, so I want to try and read this. I'm 166 pages into it. This was Di Morrissey's first book, hence why I'm starting with this one, and then I'll read her others in order of publication. They're pretty much all set in Australia. This one is set in rural Queensland, so yeah, it's pretty cool so far. I've also got The Guy, the Girl, the Artist and His Ex by Gabrielle Williams. This is an ARC from Ellen and Unwin. This is already out. I think it came out, did it come out in March? I think it might have been April 1st, but I'm not sure. I'm 56 pages into it, really enjoying it. This is set in Melbourne, and it's about the Weeping Woman by Picasso that was stolen from the National Gallery of Victoria. So yeah. I also started The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side by Agatha Christie. I think I mentioned this in my last TBR, but every month I pick 4 books out of my TBR, and this is one of them. I also picked up The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, which I'm 74 pages into. I went over to Michelle's last weekend, Easter weekend, and I had an hour-and-a-half train trip there, so I read 74 pages on the way there, and I would have read more, but it's hard to read on trains, I find, sometimes. One of the things I'm trying to do this year is to read through the Stella Prize nominations, I suppose. I'm starting with the shortlist for 2015. I've already read 1 out of 6 and I have these other 4. So I've got The Eye of the Sheep by Sophie Langua, or Langer. The Golden Age by Joan London. Heat and Light by Ellen Van Neven. And The Invisible History of the Human Race by Christine Keneally. The Stella Prize looks at women, Australian women, and their contribution to Australian literature. And it's a really awesome award, and the book's really good so far. I've read one and a bit. And again, I'll link that below if you're interested. I've also got some other library books. The first one I've got is The Forgotten Girls by Sarah Gladell. I'm 65 pages into this, really enjoying it. It's a crime, mystery, thriller novel, but it's set in Denmark, and Sarah Gladell is, I was about to say Denmarkian. That's what my dad calls them, is the Denmarkians. She's Danish. Those of you who don't know, studying in Denmark the second half of this year, actually in like 2 months' time. So yeah, I wanted to read some Danish literature. So this happened. I'm really enjoying it so far. I also have two other library books, which are Magic Study and Fire Study by Maria V. Snyder. I read Poison Study ages ago, but I wanted to pick these two up so I could kind of finish this series. There is a fourth one called Shadow Study, but I don't know if it's actually connected. I wanted to read these. As you may be able to see here, I have the entire, I think it's called the Glass trilogy by Maria V. Snyder. They connect to this, so I need to finish this first so I can read those. Yeah, really hoping I can do that this month. I'm doing a couple of buddy reads with Michelle. Firstly, we're doing Boundless, which we were supposed to read last month. This is by Cynthia Hand, by the way. And we read Hallowed, which is the book before this in the trilogy, and we just weren't feeling up to this one. So we're going to try and read it this month. We also want to read The Heroes of... Oh. We want to read The Lost Heroes by Rick Riordan, I don't know. First book in the Heroes of Olympus series. Both really looking forward to this one, even if it's massive. And we are starting today, I think. I should probably check that. Got a couple of arcs that I'll just run through really quickly because I have mentioned most of them, I think, in the past. Arcane by Lynette Noni. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Resonance by Celine Kiernan. Begonia by Maria Devana Headley. The Secret Garden and A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. Legion and the Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson. The Daylight Gate by Jeanette Winterson, which I should have read like a month ago. Now I've just got a couple that I just want to read for fun. So I've got A Celtic Miscellany. I lied, this is for a research on a book I want to write. The second book in the Ranger's Apprentice series, The Burning Bridge by John Flanagan. The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman. Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. Still 241 pages in since September. The last four are ones that I bought at Clunes last year and I want to try and read before Clunes this year. So I have Blaze of Glory by Michael Pryor. Le Grand Melneur by Aline Fournier. Between the Lives by Jessica Shervington. And The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. So I also picked out, as well as this, I also picked out The Key to the Golden Firebird by Maureen Johnson. I also picked out the first Nancy Drew book by Caroline Keane, which is over there and I can't be bothered to get it. And the last book I have is Down and Out in Paris Down and Out in Paris and London by George Orwell. Whew, that was a lot. I also, in case you're interested, have to reread Frankenstein. Yay! So yeah, I know what you guys are thinking. That is a ridiculous TBR. There's no possible way I could read all those. And you're probably right. But I'm gonna try to read them all anyway. So wish me luck with all of those TBR books. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in a couple of days with a very exciting collab video. I'll see you all then. Bye.